about the Kurt Angle situation that broke over the weekend. And then we're going to come back tomorrow night from 7 to 9 Eastern Time, and we're basically going to detail more about the Angle situation. We'll run down Raw from tonight, tomorrow.
Preview SummerSlam.
Well, there was just so much stuff that was going on, here in the last few weeks, especially with MMA. So we wanted to kind of come on today, talk a lot of MMA, a lot of UFC, WEC, Strikeforce, get that out of the way, and then tomorrow night we could, go pro wrestling for the 2 hours and not have to worry about all the MMA talk. Not that we're not trying to draw MMA fans into WZR Radio, because we are, but we'll get a lot of it out of the way tonight and then touch on some stuff that we missed tomorrow night. So, TNA Hard Justice. Before WZROnline.com /chat, and the live phone number to call is 724-444-7444. Call ID number 30273, followed by the pound key. Call us up. You want to talk about Hard Justice, you want to ask us a question, whatever's on your mind, call us up right now, 724-444-7444. Call ID number 30273, followed by the pound key. All right, Matt Boone, what'd you think of TNA Hard Justice last night?
Overall, I mean, it had its moments. There was stuff that was good on it, but nothing really great on it. But there was a lot of bad stuff on it too. And overall, what are we doing? School letter grade? I would probably go. I would toss up between a C+ and a B-.
Would you say a C+ and C-?
C+ or B-.
C+ or B-.
Somewhere in there.
More than I would say it was a C- in my books. I mean, we kicked things off. We had that Steel Asylum match for a shot at the X Division title at the next TNA pay-per-view, No Surrender. We had Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley was in there, Amazing Red, Black Machismo, Consequences Creed was in there, Suicide, and the Pope, Elijah Burke, who is now going by the name D'Angelo De Niro, made his debut with TNA. Well, not his debut, because he's wrestled there before, but this is his actual, in-ring, pay-per-view. I'm a part of the roster. I'm now on the TNA roster type deal. So he debuted, and this was the highlight of the night for me. I mean, what a way to kick off a pay-per-view, spot after spot. That was just total spot fest.
I got like a thing about those matches. I mean, about the whole pay-per-view in general. The general formula of a TNA pay-per-view is not altered or changed at all for any show. It's the same pay-per-view every time, just different people. You got a match with 10,000 X Division guys, and they're in some kind of cage or some kind of, there's wires, something for them to jump around on and dangle off of and do that stuff, those spots. And in those matches, you've always got the series of double team spots because of the tag teams, like Lethal. What is it? What the hell is that team called? Lethal Consequences.
Lethal Consequences.
Yeah, and then Motor City Machine Guns. So you've always got them doing their double team stuff. You got the big pile up where they all stack up on the top rope. They always do that, and it's just a spot fest. I mean, it is definitely exciting and it's a great way to open the shows, but I don't know. I don't feel like I got
every wrestling pay-per-view is a. I mean, look at WWE. You have the same main event month after month. It's the same guys that are being featured in those main events. You know what I mean? And it's just, that's just the way. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about the placement of the guys. They're irrelevant. I'm talking about the styles of the matches, because you got that. You've always got a Team 3D match where they brawl over the arena. That's always guaranteed to happen. You've always got some kind of blood, gory thing with the Biz or something bad with Dr. Stevie. And the main event's always Kurt Angle, Sting, and usually Jeff Jarrett or somebody else. Yeah.
But if you're going to build, and I don't agree with the way that they're pushing Matt Morgan, who I'm going to talk about right now, but if you're going to build somebody like a Miz, you know what I mean? Like a Miz in WWE, put him in a pay-per-view main event with two other guys. You don't see WWE do that. I mean, I know they did John Cena versus the Miz, but they trashed Miz in the process. And last night, the Matt Morgan build-up, the guy needs to work on his mic skills. Yeah, I think he tries. You said it last night. He tries way too hard. You know what I mean? But it's the fact that They're pushing this guy. They're putting him in a main event position with the backstage segments, and they didn't bury him last night during that pay-per-view. You know, I know he didn't win the title, but it's too soon to do that anyway. But you didn't bury him like WWE did with The Miz. You know what I mean? They put him in a main event spot. They'll probably follow it up tonight at the Impact tapings, and that's how you build a new star. You don't put him in a match with John Cena, have Cena win, and then you do 3 more matches between the two guys, and Miz loses all of them. You know what I mean? What does that do for the Miz? It does nothing. It doesn't. It gets him. What does it get him? Rubbed for being in a program with John Cena. He didn't get a win. He didn't get a clean win, so it means jack shit. You know what I mean? And I think, with Matt Morgan, hey, when I watched that pay-per-view last night, I said, there's a chance with everything that happened with Kurt here over the weekend. You know what I mean? There's a chance. You've got Sting, who looks like he's going to be leaving after Bound for Glory. You've got Kurt in there. So you know what? There's a new guy. He's got the look. He's a big guy. You know what I mean? There's a possibility that they, it wasn't out of my mind last night that Morgan could have walked out of that pay-per-view with the title. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely could have happened, but I'm glad it didn't because he's definitely not ready, and he just looked out of place in the main event. He just looked like he didn't belong in there. I should say it didn't look like looks-wise. He looks the part. He just isn't the part, He's always been a product of Cornette back from the days in OVW. You know what I mean? When he was down there with yeah, but he's big, and I get it. He's a big guy, big deal, but he sucked. Let's be honest. He's trash. He's garbage. He's terrible. He's awful.
He's really, the backstage segments that they had with him last night, it was him and somebody else in a backstage segment, and I said,
Kurt Angle.
Dude. Yeah, Kurt Angle. He was just trying so hard. It just came off so corny.
And anytime you yourself take on the voice of the ring announcer when you're talking about becoming the new champion, and you say,
right.
And after the pay-per-view, I will become the new TNA champion. Like, come on, you can just say I'll become the new champion. You're not an announcer. You're trying too hard.
Well,
you don't have charisma. Just be the big, quiet, scary guy. Don't try and be the entertaining. You're not that guy. It's just not going to happen. Sorry.
Some people try too hard, man. You know what I mean? That's why I always felt like when we come on here and we do a live radio show, just come out and be yourself. Be who you are. Don't try to be somebody that you're not.
Don't try and be a fucking softball all-star or something. Just come on here and be yourself.
I don't know. People want you to be yourself. People don't want to hear some fake. I know it's all part of the storyline.
It's transparent as hell when they're trying too hard and they're not being themselves. When they're being fake, you can tell they're being fake. They can't hide it.
I understand if you have a gimmick, you know what I mean, like a Eugene gimmick, and you're trying to play a retarded guy, you know what I mean? I can understand that. You're going into your gimmick. But Matt Morgan doesn't have a gimmick. Matt Morgan he's himself. You know what I mean?
His gimmick is the same thing that his potential is. He's the blueprint. He looks like he should be a star, but he's not. He's not. It's going to take some time if he ever will be. As the jury should go out.
I guess you got to push him sometime, right?
But you don't push him straight to the top, and then that's force feeding them down people's throats, and that audience especially is just not going to. They're not going to be very receptive to it. They know what they want. They're boys. Come on. They had the chance of you were arrested right in the beginning of the match. They know what's up.
Well, wasn't there a chance of you can't wrestle? In one of the matches last night, there was a chance of you can't wrestle. I don't know if it was the main event directed at Morgan, but it was directed at somebody. And like you said, that's a smart fan base down in Orlando with the
they can see right through it. They can see that, this is the big muscle guy that, creative wants us to like and, get by. They would if he had anything going for him. He just doesn't. He looks the part. That's it. That's where it ends.
I don't even think it's his in-ring skills. It's and they're not that good. Don't get me wrong, but it's when they do backstage segments and they try to build this guy up as somebody, that's a monster, somebody that's a big guy, and he doesn't seem credible. You know what I mean?
He belonged in the middle of the card, working the matches with Abyss. Those gimmick matches. That stuff was working good enough. You know,
yeah,
that's his right spot in the company at this point. It just seems out of place for him to be in the mix with those guys, and it's hard to take it serious.
I guess that, I mean, you either have it or you don't have it as it pertains to mic skills, and he doesn't have it, and that's not something that you can teach, you know what I mean? I mean, you can't teach a guy mic skills.
Well, I think a lot of the thing with him is he's not comfortable in his own skin yet in front of a microphone or a camera. That can't be taught, but you can over time get more comfortable, and then if your natural personality comes out and it happens to be a good one, if you're comfortable enough, then that'll shine through. But right now he's tense and he's nervous and he's trying too hard to be something that he's not.
Well, a lot of those things are pre-taped as well, so there's no excuse. I mean, if it comes off like that and it sucks, I mean, somebody's standing there, well, this is pre-taped, saying this works, this will work, this will do it, and then they air that on pay-per-view, and it's not good enough.
Not only that, okay, you could say at one angle, they have the pre-tape and it'll be on TV, man, millions of people will see this. That's one thing, but this, at a pay-per-view, it's pre-taped and it's going on their show, and people are paying to see this. So you gotta, if you're, do a couple more takes, man. I know it's inconvenient for the camera guy to change the film, whatever. It's trash. You know, you can do better than that. Come on, you got plenty of time.
And there are grown men that are older than me, that are standing there watching that and are approving that for TV, saying we're going to put this on pay-per-view, we're going to put this on TV.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, do a couple takes. And then
I'm sure they do, and that's probably the best that he can do, obviously. I mean, I don't...
Oh, if that's the best he can do, then we have some problems for
obviously, that's the whole point, yeah.
Yeah, obviously, but yet they're going to continue to force-feed him to us, you know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, where are they going with him now that, he made to look like an idiot, Angle tricked him, so, where are they going with that? They had the agreement before the match, that neither guy would let Sting walk out as the champion as long as one of those two guys won. That's going to be the angle. Angle will come out and say, well, I said as long as either one of us won, I saw the opportunity, I took it, but...
Right.
I don't know.
Well, it still keeps him, for the time being, at this week's TV team. Maybe this was his shot. Maybe they'll say, you know what, we'll throw you in the main event.
See how you do, yeah.
We'll see how you do, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
That's not fair, though, man. I mean, you got Sting in there, too, who's not the greatest anymore. Love him. He's one of my favorites of all time, but he doesn't really have it in the ring anymore. Not on that level for a main event, And Kurt Angle, my God, where was his mind yesterday during that match? So that's not really fair to Morgan, because he was the odd man out in that situation. He was just doing the best that he could with what he had to work with,
Well, we ranted and raved, and we haven't got past the first match, and it's almost time. We got to take a commercial break here.
We should spend some time on this one anyway, I would think, the TNA pay-per-view.
Oh, no doubt. We'll come back after the break, and we'll run down the Hard Justice pay-per-view, and what else? We got Monday Night Raw tonight.
ROH debuts on Monday tonight, right before Raw at 8. We can talk about that if you want. I mean, it's a tape.
Ring of Honor announced a ladder match between the American Wolves and El Generico and Kevin Steen, which is going to be a big ladder match in New York City. So tonight's main event is Nigel McGuinness versus Tyler Black, I want to say. Tyler Black. Correct.
Okay, yeah.
Correct. Yes, I forgot that debuts on HDNet tonight.
Yeah, lead in for Raw now, so we'll see if that helps the numbers. I mean, on HDNet, obviously, you're not going to have anything great, especially being an indie, promotion.
Yeah, and then we've got to talk about the Kurt Angle situation as well. So we're going to do that here in hour number 2, and then, like I said, guys, tomorrow night we're going to be back at our normal time slot of 7 to 9 Eastern Time, WZROnline.com. You guys will be able to find the links tomorrow on the website. Hopefully my voice will be a little bit better.
What are our music options going into the break? What do I got? What can I pick from?
What do you want?
What do we got over there? Give me a couple. Give me like 2 or 3 to pick from.
Well, you like that rap, man. You always want to go.
Well, you could go to the oldies. Some people are acting for the quote unquote vintage